What?
Why do they put the sign?
What do you think? It's free advertisement placement. Yeah. Pretty soon we're going to have cocoa beer. All right, good morning. We're holding Daf Lamed Vav on the base all the way in the bottom. Tonu Rabbanon. Tonu Rabbanon Yodcha Zoi Smoil. Interesting, because we were learning about Etzba and Yad is Yamin. Over here, when the Torah says, typically when the Torah says the word Yad, Yodcha, Zoi Smoil, it means your left hand. So we're discussing the placement of the tefillin. How do you know that you put the tefillin on the left hand? Because Yad, Yodcha means the left. At Oimer Small, El Yamin. Talmud Loimar, Af Yodi Yozda Eretz, V'yimino Tipcha Shomayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I was creating earth while with my right hand, I was creating earth with my hand, while with my right hand I was creating the heaven. So, yeah, I see you're chuckling. It's like, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying that I was busy with my right hand, but my hand, I created earth. So what's hand? Hand is the left. It's like, Voimer, Yoda, I don't want to say, Voimer. Yichab, what is it? It's like, look at me, I could do Voimer, Yoda la Yosef, it's talking about Yael, when she killed Sisera. So it says, she grabbed, Yoda la Yosef, she grabbed with her hand, she grabbed the peg, Tishlachno, V'yimino lahalmus amelim, and with her right hand, she took the hammer and she banged it in. But what hand did she grab the peg? Something other than her right hand, which was grabbing the hammer. So that means hand is left. So therefore we put tefillin on the left. V'oimer loma sashiv yodcha v'minecha mekerev cheikcha kalei. Also, if it was davening, why won't you go to war, Hashem? Tashiv yodcha, you're holding back your hand. V'minecha, and your right hand. So b'kitzur, yodcha is not the right. Left. Right, that's what I mentioned. Yad was, but that's by mincha. But typically the Gemara is saying that Yad means left. I was afraid, yes, I stuck it in under my breath, sort of. But okay. We're holding Daf Lamed Zayin Wadav Yishkoyach Baruch Atah Adin Lo Yedanim L'Choylom Sha'Koil Niyeh B'Dvavoi. Top word of Lamed Zayin Wadav. Rabbi Yossi Achoyrem. Who's this Rabbi Yossi Achoyrem? So look in Tosfos, because it'll include Rashi and Tosfos. Appears by Kuntris Chotmei Haya Shakua. The reason why they called him Achoyrem because his nose was inverted. It was what?
Punch nose.
Kitzur had no nose. To the point where Rashi and B'chayr says that if a woman has a nose like that and she puts on makeup, it's like she goes from side to side in one shot. The nose doesn't get in her way. So Taisa says, "V'teimu loymar shekino b'loshing nai." It doesn't make sense that they will call a chash of a person by a derogatory nickname. So El al Shem Koymer Nikrokein. Choyrem is the name of his place. Going back to the Gemara, Rabbi Yossi Achoyrem Oimer Motzinu Yemin Shenikru Yad. No, I don't like any of these limudim, these three limudim that we just had, because it says the famous pasuk Shenemar V'yar Yosef Ki Yoshes Ovev Yad Yiminoy. It says that Yaakov, he didn't like the fact that Yaakov Avinu put his right hand Sikelos Yodov, but it says Yad Yiminoy. So you see that Yad means the right. And you're going to ask me the kasha. Vidoch Yad Yiminoy Yikri. Over there the Torah said Mefurish Yad Yiminoy, so it means the right hand. But if the Torah says Stam, Yad Stam Lo Yikri. But if it says it without Yiminoy, so it would mean left. Over there also the Torah continues and says Yad without Yiminoy, but obviously it's going on what it started off as Yad Yiminoy. Rabbi Nosson Oimer Eino Yitzar.
He's asking a question?
What?
They're asking a question?
Rabbi Yossi Achoyrem doesn't hold of the three pshatim that we said, that the Yad means smoil, the Yad means anything. He says, look, it says Mefurish, Yad means Yamin, and all these Amoraim that say that Yad means small, they're going to say, but over there, because it says specifically Yad Yamin, so you can't bring any Raya. What's going on? We're missing Gemaras?
Yeah.
Is that the... Okay. Rabbi Nosson Omer, Nitzorach Harem Ukshar Tom Uchsav Tom. So Rabbi Nosson says you don't need all these psukim, you don't need 3 limudim. It says in the Torah Ukshar Tom. You should put on tefillin. Where? On your hand. Right afterwards it says Uchsav Tom. You should write a mezuzah. Maksiva biyamin, afkshira biyamin. Rashi says most people write with the right hand. And Memela, it's referring to putting on tefillin where most people put on would write. So, but we're not done yet. The kivin the kshira biyamin hanacha b'smoili. The Torah says you should tie it. How? The same way you write a mezuzah with your right hand. So you have to tie with your right hand. What are you tying on? You can't tie anything with your right hand. You can't tie on your right hand with your right hand. If you're using your right hand, you must be tying it onto something else. So must be you're tying it to your left hand, and that's how we know that you put tefillin on the left hand. Rashi says most people Rov b'nei Adam kaisim b'yamin. So the Vilna Gaon learns out from this Rashi that it goes by what most of your maisim go by, meaning it doesn't go by the ksiva as much as it goes by your action. So if most of your actions are with your right hand, you bat with your right, you hit with your right, but you write with your left, you'd go with your right hand.
Manual dexterity.
What?
Well, you have manual dexterity.
Manual dexterity, not ambidextrous. What? No, he's saying manual, meaning more to one. That's what you were trying to say. More to one, not ambidextrous, but more to one.
Fine motor skills.
What?
Whatever you have.
Because he goes into the whole thing. Because Rashi says Rov b'nei Adam, so it goes by Rov Maisim of b'nei Adam. I think. What? Right. But it goes by the Rov. I think that's what it goes by the Rov. I don't know. I really don't know how he. I think that's what he says. Unless I'm making a mistake. Fine.
There is a problem with people being trained to write with the right hand and the left.
Yeah, in the olden days, they used to say that's a bad thing to be a lefty, and they used to forward back even when I was a kid. In the old days, yeah.
You turn off for Heather or you turn off for...
No, whether he really has got to do with the left.
Yeah, the Rabbi Yossi Achoram, that he doesn't hold of all these psukim, and he just says he doesn't argue on the halacha that you have to put tefillin on the left hand. He just says that your raya that yodcha means left is not true. So, but then how does he know that you hanocha b'smal minolei? So how does he know they have to put tefillin on? No, it's not good enough yet. You have to wait for 10 more minutes. So he's going to use ukshartem uksaftam, that limud, that the same way you write a mezuzah with your right hand, so you do the kshira with your right hand, and you do the kshira onto the left hand. Rav Ashi Omar miyodcha. We had in the last few sugyas, I don't know if you remember, who could recall, we had a word that we split up into words. Ukshar tom, ksiva tam, kshira tama. We had uksav tom, ksiva tama, and we had another one. Very good. Ulakachtem. Ulakachtem by the Arba Minim is lakichatam. Over the Gemara does something similar. It says yodcha. I'm going to make that word into 2 words. How? Yod ksiv behei keya. I take the word yodcha, I divide it in half. Yod keya. It's the weaker hand out of the 2. If you have an option, where to put it on? Because really, the Gemara is saying, how would you spell yodcha? Yud dalid chav sofit, and the chav, call it whatever you want. A chav. What's this hey doing here? It's a weird way to spell it, because it's telling you that it's actually 2 words. If you're splitting it into 2 words, I have another word to put in here. Yod koyach. We know that a hey and a ches are interchangeable. So maybe it says Yad Koyach. And it's not a joke that they're interchangeable. It says im loim nitma hinaki, hey nun kuf yud, which would mean she should be what? Pure, tar. And the Gemara learns from that chinaki, she should get chenek, because the hey and the ches are interchangeable. Says the Gemara, yeah, you're right. Hey and ches are interchangeable when you have nothing else to learn from it. But over here, omerlei miksiv b'ches. Why would you jump and make a hey into a ches when I have a good limud with a hey? Yod keya. It should be with your weak hand. Says the Gemara, Ketanoi, the way some learn, if Shaila is if you learn Yodcha, that's the left. Yodcha behei zusmal. Acher moimrim Yodcha lerabois esagidem. Somebody who doesn't have a forearm. In other words, he has from his elbow and up. So don't think that his hand is not considered a hand. He can still put his tefillin on the top part of his hand, on his bicep. Tan Yedoch, Ein Lizroya. Now over here, Ein Lizroya means he has nothing. All the way up to his shoulder, gone. Potter min tefillin. He is potter from tefillin. It's interesting. But what does it mean, potter min tefillin? He doesn't have to put on shel rosh? No. Not. Of course he has to put on tefillin shel rosh. Oh, very good. Back to last night's kasha. You weren't here last night, but he asked me why it says tefillin. Okay, you got me on this one.
He's missing which arm? Both arms?
No, his left. Don't ask the question, please. Okay, ask. So you want to know how come he doesn't put on his right? No, because I certainly understand that if it's that's only if you learn Yad Keya. And if you learn Ukshartom Uksaftom, and what if you learn Yodcha? Yodcha, okay, I hear. So according to all those, Yad Keya, but what if Yad Keya means if he has two arms and he has Keya? What if he doesn't have two arms, he only has one? We said if he has two arms that are not Keya, they're both equally strong, he puts on the right, he puts on the left. So okay, you understand it fine. I guess that's what they learn. Acherim moimrim Yodcha l'Rabbis Esagidem. So if you look at Tosfos there are maskal ein leizroyam and atfil acherim moimrim Yodcha. Look at Tosfos. Tosfos says Maro marchoda umaro marchoda v'loy pligi. Acherim are not coming to argue on what we just said. In other words, what we just said is if he's missing his entire arm all the way up to the shoulder, you put him in a tefillin. Acherim come and say, but if he's only missing till the elbow, he's chayev. Comes out a beautiful chiddush here if you think about it. Here, let's work it out together. Have until his elbow. His left arm is missing till the elbow. He's mechuyev to put on tefillin where? On his left bicep. If he doesn't have all the way to his shoulder, what's the halacha? No tefillin. No tefillin shel yad. Now let's go to the right hand. If he doesn't have his entire hand, his entire right hand, what's the halacha? He should put it on his left hand. What's the big deal? It's still yad. Still yad keya. Here's an unbelievable chiddush. If it's not a chiddush, but it's something you wouldn't think of maybe. If he's missing his right forearm up to the elbow, where does he put on his tefillin? He should l'chayra put it on his left arm. What's the difference? No. Now what? He becomes an eater. Very good. He just became a lefty because he's missing everything till his elbow. So he's not a righty anymore. If he's not a righty, then it goes to the next sugya that if you're a lefty, you put it on your right arm. So he has to put it on from his little piece that's remaining. He has to put it over there.
But if he's missing his arm entirely, then you do put it on the left hand.
Right. Because there's nowhere to put it.
So you're saying if you have no other choice, then you put it on even though it's no longer.
Yeah. Then you revert back to yotcha. Then it becomes a yotcha. But if he has a part, now he has two. Because before we said if he has up to his elbow on his left, it's still considered a hand. It's a good hand, and he actually puts it on his left hand on top. It doesn't come just because he's missing up to his elbow. It doesn't mean he doesn't have an arm. He has an arm. It's just a shvach arm. So he puts it on his left. So over here he has two arms. Just because he doesn't have to elbow, he has two arms, and maybe he puts it on his left. On his, but then he would put it on his right because he became a lefty.
So there are two aspects. It's not. It's one the mediah, the kshira. And when we say kshira, it's that you have to actually.
That's in Sharta Mukhsaftam. That's in one man the Omar that the kshira is done with your right hand. Yeah.
What happens if you have a prosthetic arm that's functioning?
Time out. The last time you asked me a kasha was when we were learning about tuna fish. You remember? That was in Avodah Zarah. I'm serious. There's some fish that, what was the Gemara? Some fish when they come out of the water they lose their scales. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay, Baruch Hashem. No, I'm serious. I'm encouraging you to ask. No, what are you asking?
If you have a prosthetic arm, is it considered?
No.
It's not functioning.
He's not eating out.
Now I'm gonna remember this kasha. So prosthetic arm.
Why can't it be like
his right hand, he has till the elbow. And he uses his right hand, that's his main hand, because he has prosthetic, the rest of it's prosthetic. So
But that's artificial. That's artificial.
What?
It's artificial.
If he's using his right, doesn't use his left. That's
Let's go. Let's go Reb Chaim with the question.
Tyson said that there's no machlekes. The sheet that brings that it isn't machlekes.
Okay. I got it.
And according to Acherim, they really have to put it on.
Yeah, we can't do all shitas here. If you do all shitas, 6 hours minimum.
We spoke about why not to put it on the other hand. According to the sheet, Acherim said.
Hold on. We gotta go back to this kasha. It's an amazing kasha. You have to continue asking. I'm serious. I'm not joking. So we'll have to look into. I don't know. I'm not a paisik. I just know what it says over here. So you're asking Nochal, it's this. He does most of his. You know, it depends on the Olympics. If they take a guy like that with those artificial legs and they let him race and not race, the whole fine. Tanu Rabbanon. No, we put some tefillin shorosh.
Why can't he put on his right hand?
Because that's what he was saying. It's not yadcha. He doesn't have yadcha. He doesn't have ksha. According to all the shittas, it doesn't work out well.
We don't say that he's now going to be
No, that's because he has two arms and he puts it on the other one. But if he doesn't have a left arm b'chlal, it's a chiddush. Terabanan, iter, a lefty, miniach tefillin b'yamino. I don't know how many times you were bar mitzvahs. The Gemara, Menachos and Zayin. This is it right over here. Mostly those lefty kids. Iter miniach tefillin b'yamino yishu smoiloi. So he puts on tefillin on his right arm, which is his left arm. It's the weaker arm. It would be a shayla here. Rashi says because it's yad keya, he sticks in that it's the weaker arm. You come out according to Rashi that according to the other two shitas of ukshartam and yad means left. According to that man Omar, even if you're lefty, you'd only put it on the left arm. You don't switch. Right. Well, that's a machlekes. That's a machlekes if right. What Rashi would hold in that? That's also machlekes. Seriously. V'tanya, I will learn meniach b'smoilish u'smoilish shel kol adam. It says mefurish that a lefty should put it on like every other person on his left arm, on his real left arm. Omar Abaye kitanya hi b'shoili b'shtei yadav. A person's ambidextrous, he could control both arms equally. Then you revert back to what everybody else does, which is the left. Tana de Menachos al yadcha zoyki baris. Where do you put it? You put it on your bicep, otherwise known as guns, right? Beinenecha, zoi koitkod. You put it between your eyes. Do not put it directly between your eyes. That'll be very uncomfortable. You put it on your head. Heicha, where? You put it on the place where a baby is very soft. The maximum that you can put it is to where your hair ends. So one has to be very careful not to have your tefillin lower. And if you ever notice in shul, if you put it lower, somebody will come running over to you right away, because the Mishnah Berurah says that if you see somebody like that, you should run over to him, because you could be you're making a bracha levatala. If you put it over here past your hairline, and it means even if you have a chup, it goes into it. Even if you have long hair, it's where the hair starts, not where your hair ends. You see people in shul not so makbid sometimes, especially the people with the chubs who don't know halachas. Yeah, I get it. Fine. So it should be to where the hair, but it seems like more lechatchila will be back, where the head of the baby is soft. So backwards.
If you're bald,
Where it was.
What?
if you're bald,
If you bald, yeah.
It's the original.
It's weird. As we're gonna see.
The original hairline where what you used to.
Right. Fine. I heard a very nice story. I think people know the story, but it was a Geshmaka story. It's worthwhile to say over. The Ger Rebbe, he had a big problem. All his Hasidim wanted to daven with him on Rosh Hashanah, both days. So he said, okay, the first day, everybody 50 and older could daven with me. And everybody else davens in the lower base medrash. The second day, everybody 50 and younger davens with me, and everybody older davens downstairs. So a guy comes over and he says, listen, Rebbe, I have a big problem. My birthday is on the second day of Rosh Hashanah. So on the first day I'm 49, I can't daven with you. The second day I'm 50, so I can't daven with you. So what do I do? So he told him, get out of the base medrash. Because the Gemara in Baba Basra says that,
There was a little
no, there was a bird.
bird.
The Gemara says, if you find a bird 50 amas away from its shevach, you could keep it. So he asked him, but what if one foot is 50 and a little bit, and one foot is, just get out of the base medrash. Questions like that, and Rashi says, don't be matriach me. Fine. I thought it was a Geshmaka story. Get out of the At the end, I think Reb Zilberstein got involved, and he said he could go on the second day or something, because then whatever. Fine. Anyway, it says the Gemara. Why are we saying? Because look at this Gemara. Actually, the Gemara story is even better than this story. But Playmer asked Rebbe. This is Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbeinu. Mi sheyesh le'shnei roshim. If somebody has two heads, beis mem meniach tefillin. Because let's say if somebody has two right arms, he's ambidextrous. So over there we had a shaila. He said put it on the left hand. So what if somebody has two heads? He uses them equally. Could he? Where does he put tefillin? It's Geshmaka kasha, yeah. Or Marley, you have two options. Oy kum gli, go into Gullus, get out of here. Oy kabel aloch shamto. You are, says Rashi, you're embarrassing me with these kashas, you're making b'zionis out of me, you deserve nidui. Now Tosfos says very interesting. Oy kum gli, Tosfos says on the bottom, boilam hazeh leke. There's no such thing in this world, so you have to go to Gullus, toilam haba. Go somewhere else. Aviyesh b'midrash, ashmedei hoitzi mitachas karka, odom echad shesh le'shnei roshim, if le'shnei ha'melech, ashmedei pulled out a person that had two heads, and he married he got married to a woman, so he had a child. I guess it's genetic. He had a child with two heads, but he had a child with one head. And then they came, and they came to do Yerusha. The guy with the two heads wanted 2 shares of his father's Yerusha. So Tosfos learns, Oy Gali means go to wherever Ashmedai was, and over there you'll find your kasha. It's a good kasha over there, wherever that is. Fine. What? No, what's the continuation?
Amelech took hot water and poured on the one head, and the other head was shouting. So you proved that
It's one person. Okay, very good.
Siamese twins are not genetic.
Siamese twins are not what we're talking about, because Siamese twins are actually two individual people that are
They
connected.
have one heart.
But the whole body is connected, and the Achronim talk about it. I'm not. This is big chuvas. They prove Siamese twins. I saw that they bring down that they had a Siamese twin that also they brought to who I forgot who it was, and she wanted to get married, and the other one didn't let her get married. So they sent him Bezdin, get up and walk. Was it Shlomo HaMelech? I forgot who it was. Maybe it was in the later generations. And she couldn't walk. And the other one that wanted to get married picked them both up and walked. So they said, okay, you're in control. And then later on, from Busha and from Tsar, the one that couldn't walk died. And 3 days later, the other one died because of the whatever, septic shock. So you see from here that they're not connected. They're two human beings. Fine. These are, I think, Achronim bring these cases and they discuss it, but they said that this is a one body with two heads. Siamese twins is a different question. Today you see that a lot of times they separate them. So one heart, two hearts, there's different levels, right? Conjoined twins, Siamese, whatever they're called. Adahachi asa ugavra 10 minutes. So the Gemara says, Givaldik, so he was making fun of him. He said, listen, you have to go into Golas, do this. And then, all of a sudden, a guy came in, Omarlei, Isyadli, Yenuko, Disley, Tiri Rashi, he saved him. Mamish saved the day. He was about to go into Golas. All of a sudden, whoa, here's a Shaila, here's a human being with 2 heads. Kama bi'ina lemeitzav lekoyin, how much do I have to give Pidyon Haben? Because by Pidyon Haben, it says, Gulgoilas. You have to give 5 slime per skull. There's 2 heads over here. Osa usaba. Who's a usaba usually? Elyonavi. Osa usaba tonalei chayiv litin lei eseslaim. He has to pay twice.
That's not the amazing part. That they delivered a baby with 2 heads without a C-section. This guy might be doing that. Baby with 2 heads can't come out. More talks about it. It can't go out simultaneously.
Yeah, it has to be simultaneous. This whole shaila is simultaneous. Ini batoni rami bar choma metoich shenemar podei sivdes b'chor eis b'chor adam shemei ani afilu nidr b'tech shloshim. I would think even according to Rashi, it means he literally died within 30 days. According to Tosfos, he's a treifa. Any treifa is not expected to live more than 30 days. But even if he lived more than 30 days, he's still considered treifa and potter. How do I know that if a baby is not viable, it's bound to die, doesn't get Pidyon Haben, you don't have to pay the coin? Talmud loymar ach cholak. So, Shani Hocha, and Tosfos says something very interesting. If you look at the end of Tosfos on this page, Lamed Zayin on the base, the last words of Tosfos says, the kol yeser kenatul dami. Tosfos comes up with the concept, brings the concept, if you have something extra, it actually removes something. If you have extra head, it's as if the head that you already have is gone. You're headless. You're walking around without a head. The extra one, number 2, takes off number 1. Yeser kenatul dami. It takes off what you already have. Not it itself is gone. It takes off 1. A plus is actually a minus. So Mela, this guy that had an extra head, it's as if he had no heads. No heads is a treifa. He's not viable. I did a little research. Does it exist today? Google, I saw this. They have like 6 people that were born with heads. But on one of them it said died within 3 weeks. It just seemed like they don't exist. The Gemara is onto something here that these the 2-headed people don't really last. Akoponim.
So how could they get permits?
Oh, they don't. So that's what they bring down. That to bar mitzvah, you probably never had a guy like that. This guy came in with a baby. It's a brand new baby. He's asking Shaila and Pidyon Haben. So then it goes back. The Playboy made a mistake. He made a mistake. What is he asking a kasha about where to put on tefillin? It's never going to last 13 years. Okay, such a mistake. You don't put him to Golas. You don't. He wasn't making fun. That was really not. Maybe he didn't know. It's not the end of the world.
He's predicting advances in medical technology to survive. The incubators.
But I don't know if that happened. I don't think that guy would be pretty wealthy if he had 2 heads walking around. It's just like a circus. Fine. So now the Gemara says something very interesting. The best I could come up with this is that since the Torah says Gulgoilas, the Torah says a special yitur to somebody that has 2 heads. Treifa is potter, but since he has 2 heads, even though he is a treifa, the Torah gives a special yitur. He is chayiv on in Pidyon Haben. Omar Mar, Yod Chazoki Boyres. What?
That's not what Rashi says.
How do you learn Rashi?
Rashi says, you'll come in and say, actually, like, fine, he didn't die yet. But the halacha is he has to pay 10 if he lives.
But what does Rashi do with? I'm saying the point of treifa.
Right, look at his last words. After me, I miss.
Why? Okay, but then what about a regular treifa?
What?
What about
You still learn actually.
Yeah, but during 30 days you don't have to pay anyways. You have to only pay afterwards. So he's chayiv or not chayiv?
So if he gets to the 30 days, he's chayiv, 10.
You mean because he's mechulek on Tosfos about treifa? He says just because Rashi l'shitasoi that it has to die. That's what I said before. Rashi says. Okay.
Rashi's also before him, but actually he says shari lo yichle, he won't live.
Right.
But if
Okay.
he does, he still has to pay 10 because
Okay.
he will go.
Omar Mar Yodcha Zoiki Boyres Minolan. We said before that Yodcha means the bicep. How do you know? Maybe it's the forearm. Maybe it's the palm of the hand. The Tanu Rabbanon Al Yodcha Zoigoy V'Shabiyad. It's the high part of the hand. Maybe it's the palm. Just like the head is on the top part of the head, so too by the hand. You don't have to come on to that. It should be a sign to you, between you and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's between you and not for other people to see. So it's actually a machlokes rishonim if you have to cover your tefillin or not. It seems like it's better to cover it. As we're going to see soon, it might not be mamash mechuyev. What? Yeah, obviously. Tefillin shorosh, the opposite. The yoru, the row is the yoru. The tefillin shorosh, you go out, you're proud. Yeah, I have to be sure. Again, you don't have to come on to this. Really, it means that you should put these words on your heart. But he says, since it says right away, immediately afterwards, ukshartem, so the kshartem is samoch to levavchem. So where do you do the kshira? Close to your heart. Alevavchem ukshartem. Your tefillin should be close to your heart. Shedhei sima keneged halev. You put it next to your heart. So, okay, if we just finish over here, so be, I guess, on the bicep, it's pretty close to your heart. But the Gemara goes on, Rav Chia v'Rav Acha b'Reder Rav Avi mechaven umanach le'lahadei libei. He would, it seems like he would take his tefillin and twist it somewhat off the top of the bicep towards his heart. And that's brought down in Halach, and the Torah brings down that you should not put it on top straight, but you move it slightly off the peak of the bicep towards the heart. Does everybody do it like that?
Yeah.
I know I do it like that.
It's also brought that you should put it on the lower half of the bicep.
So that's not so. It seems like also Machlekes Rishonim, Rashi and Tosfos. What part are we talking about? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it should be a little bit closer to your elbow.
That's a problem
Because they have such a small. Yeah.
So what they do is they have a smaller shoulder in the shoulder. Oh yeah. They don't take a standard size. Take it slightly.
What you're telling me is that everybody has, because no, it's not.
I have.
You're stuck with your bar mitzvah pair, because most people have their bar mitzvah pair. So according to you, everybody's walking around with a smaller shaliyah.
Basically, I ordered a smaller shoulder.
According to
You have to look,
Rick,
yeah.
Does he have an issue with lefties? Because then his pasuk doesn't work.
Because the heart is only on this side. But I'm saying since a lefty is right over there, so when you move it to the right, it should be in the same area, I guess. Why change the area? Once we know where the area is. It's megala what part of the hand, so now it's megala on that side also. I don't think it's because of the heart. It's not. It's showing us where the hand is. What? So he's asking. So according to those people that are lefty, the righties, what should they do? Where should they put it? Maybe we should put it over here. By the way, where was that? Oh, that was Tosfos over here. Tosfos over here says, right. Tosfos on Amud Aleph Lamed Zayin and the Dibur Maskal Kiboris. Tosfos brings a shita that there are people that held that you put your tefillin on your forearm. That the kiboris is the forearm muscle. He says no, it doesn't make. He knocks them out. But there was a shita like that. Put it on your forearm. Fine. Okay, we said this. He had a wound on his bicep. Rashi explains, since he had a wound on his bicep, so he didn't want to have a shirt. You know, when you put your shirt over the tefillin, it pushes down real bad. So he cut open the shirt so that it shouldn't apply pressure to his bicep. And look, you're exposing a tefillin shiyad, it's a problem. You don't have to really cover it. It has to be in the place where it could typically be hidden from other people, but it's not a chiyuv. Akabarim come out from the sugya. If I was just learning like this without looking into a lot of halacha, it seemed like it's better to cover it. If you can cover it, cover it. If you can't, according to this, it's not the end of the world. How do you know where you put it on your head? Maybe you should put it between your eyes like the Karaim do. Karaim that read it literally Beinei Necha, they put the tefillin right over here if they wear tefillin. There's the halacha, you're not allowed to shave your head like the how do you call them? Amorim, they used to, every time somebody died, they would shave their head. It says Beinei Nechem over there, but it means to the hair. What do you have here? Where can you shave your head? It's on top of your head. Just like over there, it's a place where you could shave. This is typical. Like if you were born today and you want to do a limud from the Torah, where do you put on tefillin? It says Beinei Nechem. I don't know how. Why over here? Because it doesn't make sense. Put it over here. But if you understand that this is how Moshe Rabbeinu came down from Sinai, and he said, put your tefillin over here, and we're just trying to figure out where we learned it out, or he actually gave us that limud, so everything makes sense. It's not like the Gemara is making this up. They came up with karcha. Rabbi Yehuda oimer eni tzarach, omer Torah nach tefillin biyad and nach tefillin sheberosh. Rabbi Yehuda says you don't have to come onto the whole karcha. It goes like this. When you're talking about nega tzaras, there's a nega that the hafach seir, the hair of a person turns into yellow, or his basar had hairs that turned into white. So the Gemara says it has to be in a place where you have either or. You can't have both. If a person puts his tefillin by his eyebrows, he could have his eyebrows turning yellow, and he could have in between his eyebrows, which is basar, turning white. And the Torah says you could only have one. You can't have two negas. And that would not be good. The only place that you could have only one, which is yellow here, is up here, which is basar. Says the Gemara. Okay, so that's it. Now basically we are done with Hilchos Tefillin. We might be getting into it a little bit later, but for now we're done for the most part, the main Hilchos Tefillin. We're going back to tzitzis. I don't know if you remember, 10 daf ago we had a Mishnah. And in that Mishnah it says, Arba tzitzis, we're still holding that Mishnah, 10 daf later. Arba tzitzis ma'akvay zayzu, sharbata mitzvah achas. In the Mishnah there was the Tanakama says that the 4 tzitzis are considered one mitzvah, and Rabbi Shmuel's Mecholki says no, they're all individual, independent mitzvahs. As the Gemara, my binayu, because Rashi explains, everybody agrees. Torah says mefurish, you need 4 tzitzis on 4 kanfois. So obviously you need 4. So where would be a nafkamina if they're ma'akev, not ma'akev? If you have a beggar with 4 kanfas, according to Rabbi Shmuel, you put on tzitzis. If you have a beggar with 3 kanfas, even according to Rabbi Shmuel, you don't put on tzitzis. So what? Where's the nafkamina? Omer Rabbi Yosef, sudden b'tzitzis ikibinayu. You have a sheet that's made out of pishtan, and your tzitzis are tzemer, so now you have a problem of kilayim. So if you hold that each one is an individual mitzvah, so as soon as you put on 1 pair of tzitzis, then you can use the sheet because the tzitzis knocks out the shatnez problem. But if you hold that you need to come on to 4, only when you get to 4 does it knock out the shatnez. In other words, according to Rabbi Shmuel, you could wear the sheet. You don't have a problem of shatnez. You might not be so you're asking me, I see you're looking at me weird. Avada, you shouldn't be putting this on. But what happens if you already put on a sheet that had 4 tzitzis, let's say? You were allowed to put it on. And now you ripped off 3, it got ripped off, it got stuck in the door and it got ripped off, and you're left with 1. If you hold that you have to have 4, so you're mechuyev to embarrass yourself in public. You have to rip off the sheet, and now you're without clothes in the middle of the merkaz. It's a problem. But if you hold that an individual tzitzis is enough, so you're not mechuyev to take it off. To put it on, even according to Rabbi Shmuel, you wouldn't put it on. But they're mechuyev to take it off. What?
Still you have 3.
You're right, but you're not. And it's enough that you're not mechuyev to take it off. Sheval taisa, because of kod abrius.
Because you have 3 mitzvahs?
Because you have 3 mitzvahs, and those 3 mitzvahs take away the shatnez.
So why does it say that?
What? No,
Some of the tzitzis.
I'm asking you a nafkamina. What's the nafkamina if each one individual or four together? At the end of the day, the only way to wear tzitzis is if you have four convoys. The answer is in a obscure situation where the sheet is made out of linen and you put on tzemer tzitzis and you're walking the street and three of them got pulled off or one of them got pulled off and you don't want to embarrass yourself in public. According to Rabbi Shmuel, you don't have to embarrass yourself.
There's nothing to do with the sheet. The sheet means the material.
100%. Nothing to do with sheet, not davka sheet. Anything that has. Okay. So the Gemara, Rabbi Barahino Omar Talis Balas Chomeshike Binayu. According to Rabbi Shmuel, each individual one is a mitzvah. So when you have five mitzvahs. According to Chachamim, it's only four. Ravina Omar, the Ravuna Kebenayu. Domer Ravuna Yotze Betalis Sheina Mitzuyetzes Kilchasa B'Shabbos Chayev Chatos. If a person goes out in the Rosh Hashanah and you don't have enough tzitzis on it, you chayev chatos. Let's say you go walk out in the street with 3 tzitzis out of 4. According to the Chachamim, you have a beged, you're wearing tzitzis, the tzitzis are choshev, you're carrying on Shabbos. The only reason you're not carrying is if part of a beged of tzitzis, but since it's not tzitzis, you're carrying. According to Rabbi Shmuel, each individual one is a mitzvah, so Mela 3 is also a mitzvah, you're not carrying. I forgot exactly what the Maisa was. There was a ger, a true story. They weren't sure if he was a ger or not a ger. I forgot the details. I can't figure it out so well. He was a ger. They didn't know what to do. They told him on Shabbos, what are you going to do? If you keep Shabbos, you chayv misa because you might be a goy. And if you don't keep Shabbos, maybe you're a Jew and you chayv misa. What do you do? So they told him, go out with tzitzis in Rosh Hashanah. If you're a Jew, so you're not carrying because it's a mitzvah and memela. But if you're a guy, then you are carrying because it's not a mitzvah for you and memela you carry. Memela you're not. You were something like that. So you mechal Shabbos.
He doesn't know by that.
He doesn't know, right? By the tissue. That's the mice with the tissue. You know them. Okay. Very good. You know the story with the tissue? There's a guy was. It doesn't matter. It's a Geshmaga story. A guy was walking in the street. A guy was following him. He says, I looked at you. You're not even a ger yet. You're working on your gerus. What kind of wanting to be a Jew are you? Are you wearing Mechal Shabbos the whole Shabbos? He says, no. What happened?
Destroyed.
I destroyed it.
2 guys are about chavrusa forever. So 4 years chavrusa. My daughter's getting married. I want you to be an aid under the chuppah. He says, I'm very sorry, but I'm not Jewish. I can't be an aid. He says, what do you mean? We've been learning. Yeah, I love Gemara, but I'm not Jewish. He says, wait a second. You keep Shabbos. Rosh Shabbos. So no, every Shabbos I put a key in my pocket, so I'm carrying. So there's an error. I don't know about that.
That's the mice. Okay. I butchered the story twice in a row. I said it over yesterday. My son also said a completely different story. The beginning was completely different, but the bottom line is I butchered it twice. I still don't figure it. Omar Rav Shisha B'Reder Ravidi Hayman the Batri Liglime Le'Ovav Le'Klum. A person that cuts down he cuts down one of the corners and he makes it into 2 corners and now he has 5. So now he just made it into, he didn't get rid of 4, he made it into 5 and made it chayiv. A person that ties his corner and he makes it like into a circle, according to the second Shana Rashi, he didn't ruin his tzitzis. My time out, the Kemanda Shari Dami, we view it as if it's an open knot and you really have 4 confists. It's not nami. Kol, Chamosais, Hatsurais, Tahirais, you have these leather jugs that need a base kibble, and the only way he made a handle is through tying it. That's not considered a real handle because it's not, it's just tying and the knot comes out. Chutz Mishalavim, because that's how they did it. Omar Avdim Minardo. Hayman the Chati Liglime, somebody that literally sews his garment. Loy Avad Veloy Klum. Im Isi Loy Miboyle lives like Belijdei. If a person would want to get rid of that corner, then he would have literally cut it off with a scissors. Why did he go through the whole process of sewing it? Obviously, later on, in a later date, he wants to undo his sewing and go back to it. So maybe we view it right now as if it's still one garment of Dalit Kamfois. We'll finish over here. Have a great day, great week. See you tomorrow, same place. Only 2 more days here, Be'ezer Hashem. Hit me, please, on the...
Let him send it the